Hey, creative ones. It's Melissa D'Antoni. How are you? Good morning from Bali. So I felt really called to do a quick video. I want to talk about, oh God, it's such a beautiful day here. It's so sunny. You know, this is monsoon season in Bali. It's like October. They say October to March. And of course, there are certain parts on the island that are more wet than others, but here where we are in Karamas, it does rain, but it also, we've had some really incredible, beautiful days. You know, people get so afraid of the rain. I might dovetail into that in a minute too. It's really sunny, I can barely see, but here. So the waves are kicking right in front of me. You can probably hear them. And if you're here, say hello. If you're watching the replay, let me know and where you're watching from. I'm looking at Mount Agung in front of me. So powerful. Just take a deep breath in. So it is healing. It is loving to be honest. Like, as we wake up to all these old timelines, you know, these denser consciousness structures, paradigms, systems that are ways of being that are no longer serving our highest evolution at this time. We have to wake up to be honest with ourselves. Like, if we cannot be honest with ourselves, we can't be honest with anyone. Yeah? And we have to be honest with ourselves about what's really looking at the truth. And I think that's ultimately what blocks people from healing, is really like truth and honesty. And honesty first in our relationship with ourselves, absolutely. Like, how are you really feeling? You know, what's really going on with your own needs, with your own energetic emotional flow, with your at a soul level. Like, get honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself, if you have used, and again, there's no judgment about this, but if you have used certain ways of being, like people pleasing, for example, or denying your own needs, or denying your own voice, or denying certain emotions, if you have been using those coping mechanisms to deal with certain trauma or conditioning, which we all have, there's no judgment, I've been there, that's absolutely been a part of my path. But the most freeing thing that I have done on my own personal journey, and that I really work with my clients on personally, one-on-one, in our own relationship, and also in their relationship with themselves, first and foremost, is to be honest. Like, you know, it's like in these higher dimensions, in these higher frequencies, truth reigns, right? There has to be a level of truth. And without that, you know, it is truthful. It is loving to be honest. It is loving to be truthful. Now, this isn't giving yourself permission to be an asshole, to beat up with yourself first and foremost for what you are revealing or for what's coming through in your own awakening process, right? And also with others, like it's loving to be honest. It's loving to honor yourself. It's loving to honor the other person with your own truth. Like, when we block our truth from other people, we are saying, you know what, I don't trust that you can handle my truth, and it disempowers people, right? It disempowers. So as we evolve in this great awakening, as we are evolving into new and evolutionary paradigms right now, we are waking up to our own empowerment and calling back our power from our true power, right? Not like, you know, power is such a tricky word, because people, I feel like, you know, until you clear the layers, right, of abuse of power, and you get to the true power, which is your ability to create, your ability to love, your ability actually to be honest, right? To be truthful, to be loving. Your own, that's, you know, the highest form of love is of unconditional love, of love is sovereignty, it's freedom. It's like, you know, trusting that everyone is self-responsible and capable of their own evolution. When we deny someone our truth, we're denying that fact. Yeah, we're denying their opportunity for growth and evolution and their own sovereignty. And then we miss out on harmony. And of course, not everyone is going to be ready for your truth, and that's okay, but that's information for you. Yeah. Yeah, because it's so important as co-creators that we are creating with people that are committed to a certain level of truth and honesty and intimacy and relationship. Everything that we complain and bitch about relationships, about money, about business, about everything has to do with this fact. It has to do with honesty and healing. It has to do with, like, without that level of honesty, we don't heal. We just don't. We don't heal in our relationships and our families and our society and our, all these systems within education. Without that level of honesty, people don't heal. When we hold back the truth, when we deny some aspect of our own self-expression. And we rob the other person of their evolution. That's how we co-create together, right? That's evolutionary relationship. Yeah. Okay, I better go. My daughter's calling me, but there's something else that I wanted to say. Yes?
It's not rinsing.
Rinsing?
No rinsing.
I don't know, honey.
Not rinsing. It's not, when I do this, it's not doing.
You need to get ready for school.
Mama, can I
Go
be
brush your
with
teeth.
you?
No, I'm finishing up a video.
I want to be with you.
Okay, come sit with me and then we'll go brush your teeth together.
Come on, little.
Just got a new
This
game.
is a little baby princess.
A little baby princess, you want to say hi?
Yes.
So we're super excited here in Bali. Sophie just started. We just started we just have we have 2 new teachers at the Wild School here at the commune. So exciting. Sophie loves it. In fact, she asked me to have longer school, which is from 10 to 2, which I have to say, I am honestly loving the late morning start, even though I'm really busy in the mornings, working sort of Western hours. I get up early and with the sun here in Bali, which I love. It's just like a beautiful time, beautiful ritual of quiet and peace and meditation and preparing for my day. But the school is the Wild School, Unschool, Micro School that we've created is from 10 to 2, which is pretty awesome. But so the other thing I want to talk about really quickly before I hop off is it's loving to be honest. It's healing to be honest. Most of the systems aren't set up for that level of truth and honesty and equilibrium. So that's what we were evolving out of, like the traditional clinical model, for example, of psychotherapy, which I've been trained in, is imbalanced in that way. So, healing can't occur in those templates, right? In those frameworks, in those relationships, because there is an imbalance structurally and in the approach and the perspective and the orientation. It is highly patriarchal and pathological, which it's very hard to reconcile trauma in those paradigms. You really need to have a co-creative relationship, where people are, it requires more self-responsibility, right? It requires more self-responsibility on both sides. It requires more honesty. It requires more intimacy. But there is an equitable exchange of energy. Because I was just thinking about it, and I might do a video on this when I was working with my shaman friend, Dua, here in Bali, and his perspective and his way of working, with clients and with energy. I was really seeing from my own perspective and my own 20 plus years of training and experience in the expressive, transformative, and shamanic arts, healing, counseling, coaching, you name it, is that, we do live in a polarizing universe, in a polarity. There's always a polarity, like even if you aren't charging money for your healing services, your creative work, at some point, the universe, because it's always seeking harmony, it's always seeking balance, there will always be some sort of energetic exchange. Like the universe recalibrates that. It's always working to calibrate that polarization, if that makes sense. Yeah? Does that resonate? I'm curious to get, but that's really what I got. So even if, if you're doing donation or whatever, there's always going to be an equitable taking and a given that the universe, because of the way that we work in this quantum reality, it's quantum physics. It'll always be polarizing, meaning seeking integration, seeking equilibrium. Does that make sense? So it's so important that we ourselves, like when we are taking personal responsibility for our own psychic energy, creative energy, emotional energy, it's all the same. When we are holding ourselves personally responsible for that, then we are no longer working in those codependent ways of being and ways of relating that that foster that imbalance of, I'm going to take this on for you because I'm sourcing something that I don't feel like I can get for myself, right? It's usually unconscious and somewhat passive aggressive, or aggressive, right? And that shows up in more narcissistic tendencies and ways of coping with trauma. But, then I don't feel like I can give it to myself, or I have it, so I'm going to take it from you, right? We're evolving out of that. Like those will not sustain in these higher dimensions, and the fifth dimension and beyond, and these kind of new earth paradigms, it just won't sustain itself. Yeah, so we have to be psychically responsible. If you're highly empathic, highly sensitive, it is crucial that anyone that you're collaborating with in co-creation is deeply committed to those values, right? Of taking personal responsibility of whatever's coming up for them psychically, emotionally, energetically, creatively, right? Psychic energy, creative energy, life force, sexual energy, healing energy, it's all the same. And we all have it. Like the shaman is within you, right? That's the new paradigm. No more of you giving your healing power away to other people. Like you are the healer. And you want to find someone that's going to activate that within you and also support you, honestly, in holding yourself in your own self-accountability, right? In your own personal mastery. Yeah, I just want to end with that. It is loving to be honest, and it is healing to be honest and self-honoring. Lots of love. Bye for now.